Hello again. We're getting here towards the tail end of the summer, but it's still summer. It's still great out, and we're still enjoying wine. You know, over the last couple of days, our friend Hani was visiting Bordeaux and sending us all these pictures of the domains that they were driving by or visiting. And I told myself, you know what? I'm going to keep him company. So we're going to drink some Bordeaux too. This is a 2009 Chateau Larrivet au Brion. It's a Pessac-Léonard. Some of the parts of the area that used to be Grave back in the days. And so why not? Let's just see what we have here. I bought a bunch of 2009, 2010s a few years ago of some these kind of properties, not necessarily top, but really good quality properties. I figured with a vintage like that and the amazing years that we had at the time, before we knew how good 2015 and 16 were going to be, it doesn't hurt to buy some stuff, keep it on the shelf, and then enjoy it later. So here we are. It's 2022, so this has been around for a while, and we're going to see what we have. This is an interesting wine because even though it's not a well-known property, I mean, it's a good quality property, pretty large size, over 120 acres. It's gone through a lot of different ownerships over the last few hundred years, like a lot of these chateaus. But it's been pretty stable recently. They plant a lot of Merlot and a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon, almost half-half. And this particular vintage is, I think, 53 Merlot, or 50 Merlot, 47 Cabernet Sauvignon, and 3% Cabernet Franc. And you get a lot of Merlot also in the Pessac-Léonard area, and some Cabernet Franc. So over the years, as you look at some of the people that have tasted it, it seemed that in the beginning it really didn't impress, but now it seems, it's hitting its stride. So let's see what we have here. Again, this is primarily Merlot, so we have to see what to expect. On the color, it's really sort of Bordeaux with more of a red tinge. It's a bit dense. I mean, there's some stuff in the bottom of the glass, so I don't know how filtered it is. And you see some of the stuff on the back here on the bottle. So there's, a little bit of sediment. Not a lot, but maybe it hasn't been long enough. It's very, it's got a little bit of that spicy Merlot, like maybe not necessarily herbaceous, but it's more of on the plant side of things that comes from the Merlot and the spice added on to it. A lot of fruit, so it's still very vigorous, very expressive from that point of view. And not a lot of alcohol on the nose. I mean, these Bordeaux's are not a lot of alcohol. Now, this says 14%, but somehow I doubt it. It does take a little bit of time to express itself, and every time I open the bottle, I just have to wait maybe an hour or more. So it's still something that is developing. It really has the Merlot spiciness and a little bit of that softness that comes with it. It's an interesting combination. It's a nice finish, but more sort of in the mid palate, not necessarily in the back of your throat, that has this combination of tannin and fruit that keeps it alive. So it's really has a nice, memory, so to speak. And it has that sort of dark chocolate tartness that you find in a lot of Bordeaux. To me, it's really a good mix of what makes a lot of, Bordeaux, great. The sort of reticence and tartness. You got a little bit of fruit, a little bit of chocolate, that spiciness from Merlot, the breeding that comes through in terms of this wine that really is not necessarily knocking on the door saying, hey, listen to me. And so I kind of like that. I think this is a bottle that you can keep for another 4 or 5 years, and it's gonna be really great. There's no connection to Brion, to my knowledge. It just seems to be related maybe to the place or the area, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of La Dame de Montrose, which is also primarily Merlot. I had a 2010 that we didn't do a video on a couple of years ago, and it had that sort of interesting, lush blend that I thought was really very appealing. Cheers, and see you soon.